So after you have learned the parameters of the PCB, you need to learn the reference points of the PCB. So you go to Setup and Learn Reference Point. So you don't ever want to do the camera auto learn calibration that was done at the beginning of the machine setup. It does not need to be done again. Learn Fiducials is what you're going to want to do if you have Fiducials on your panel, on the border of your panel. So click Learn Fiducial, click Yes. And then you don't need to click any of these buttons, and 80% is a good tolerance, and 0.1 millimeters is a good distance tolerance between reference points. Click OK. And since I've already programmed this board, it immediately goes to my first fiducial. So I can go off. If I went off a little bit and click the center, it automatically found it and moved. You can see that again. If you click center, it found it and then moved. So you can see up here the image is very crisp, very clear, and you can adjust these with the brightness, filter, and contrast tabs. Click OK once you're happy with the first reference point, fiducial reference point, and then it automatically goes to the second. And the same thing goes for here. You can click center and it found it. Click OK. And then you can move on to the learn reference of the boards. So the first board it's going to ask you to do is board 1-1 of the matrix. So since I do not have any fiducials on the sub panels, I have to either use a solder mount, surface mount solder pad, or a through hole. And in this manufacturer, it looks like the through holes might be oblong or eccentric, not quite centered up. And I think even with paste on the pad, it'll be a good shot of doing a better job of the through hole. So I'm going to use this pad as a reference point. I have to remember exactly where it was. It was by the C32 mark. So I can click OK. And then it goes to the other side of that sub board, of the sub PCB, not the panel. And then I choose another pad, almost diagonal, and I remember where that one was, next to the 2 picofarad mark. Click OK. And I can learn the horizontal line, which is important for the machine to know if the board gets skewed or rotated slightly when it gets put in. So I use the same mark, and then I choose the exact same mark, which was the 2 picofarad, all the way at the other side of the board, about 4 sub panels or sub boards later. Same mark, so it's a horizontal line reference. Click OK, and then do I want to store the horizontal line? Yes. So we can go through every board and learn the reference. That is the long way to do it, or you can just learn 3 corners. So if you click here, learn by key and offset, they'll ask you if you've learned your horizontal line. Click yes. And you can either type in the offset if you know all the numbers, or once again you can do it the easy way and just use the camera to teach it. So click calculate from learn board reference points, and it'll ask you to go to board 4-1, which is all the way at the other side of the panel. Click OK. And you want to find that same pad, and of course I've already had it programmed, so you want to find that same pad by the C32 that you used for your first reference point of your first panel. Click OK. And then you're going to want to go to your second reference point of board 4-1, which is your 2 picofarad pad next to there. Click OK. And then it's going to ask for the board 4-3, which is completely diagonal from the first board. Click OK. And C32 is what is being, is the reference there. Same exact pad. You can click OK. And the 2 picofarad once again. Click OK. So now it calculated all the reference points of every panel, every sub panel, and now you only need to teach 1 panel, and the rest of the panels for the placements will be defined. So you want to click yes on this, and then you can click exit.